La luz muestra nada de ti, esas partes ocultas de ojo público que hacen trizas, corazón, hígado, glándula y las
Transmedia Shakespeare es un proyecto conformado por 3 poetas de Reino Unido y 3 poetas mexicanos, que dan una nueva visión a 5 sonetos de amor de Shakespeare, para así crear diversas piezas audiovisuales en colaboración con 3 artistas mexicanos.
I think first of all it was quite a solitary, private experience where I received emails about the project and I got on with the business of selecting 2 Shakespeare sonnets and writing versions or seeking inspiration from the sonnets with a Mexican audience in mind. Now I've come here, the whole project's taken on a different reality.
The writing of the poetry is usually a solitary activity, but then you're kind of in conversation as well. So you're in conversation with Shakespeare, and as he said, this sort of idea of an audience that in fact you don't quite know what it is yet either, because this is our first time in Mexico, so.
We were given complete freedom to pick any sonnet we chose. And I think I just found some sonnets that seemed to chime with personal experiences. That certain sonnets seem to throw up memories of childhood or contemporary issues for me. But actually I think I could have picked quite a few different sonnets because thematically there's a general kind of movement. But there were a couple that fitted very well with contemporary issues that I wanted to explore in my poems.
Why Dawson are right class poems like
I think for one of the ones I chose, 76, I was feeling quite melancholic, and so it suited, and then also quite despairing about some of the political situations in London, across the world, and in a way it was quite comforting to read that in fact they were sort of still happening, you know, that was still a relationship that Shakespeare was having with the world around him, with the society, with politics, and that relationship with the self, that was still happening then.
To reject the moulded white lid, which now she'll chuck, and I blame her for in my head, until I remember I said yes without thinking.
Well, I think that was one of the issues, to try and tease out from the various bits of information in Shakespeare's sonnets, something related to modern Britain that Mexicans could identify with and think, well, we have those sorts of issues. So one of my poems was really about racism, and another was about traditional marriages when they go wrong. And I suspect people in Mexico can probably relate to those themes.
Yeah, and equally my... well, one was about sort of love, which is universal, obviously, and then the other, I was thinking about the city and environment and nature and the city and gentrification. And at some point I thought, I wonder if this is too London. And then I thought, no, it won't be. There will be similar issues, you know, that are coming up and resonating in Mexico City in the same way.
This way she kept in line with our tribe and survived her kismet as the victim I rightly deserved. Yeah, so we were made aware that our poems would lead into a transmedia experience. So I think we're both aware of making sure the imagery was striking and powerful and that could resonate and be transferable into paintings or music or other art forms.
Collaborations across media, and I think you can have different levels of involvement along the way of the process. And of course, because we are remote geographically, there was a little bit sort of less of, you know, oh, let's all meet and talk about this and what will we do now. But then there's a process of trust where you say, okay, I'm going to give the work going to give the work across and then sort of see what happens as well. And I find that quite exciting in collaboration, and I think you need to have it. You must have that trust in the sort of other artist to do, because if you try to direct it too much, you know, as a writer, then you kind of miss that sort of new interpretation, or you could miss that. The video work and the sonic work, there's quite a lot. In the sonic work, there's some distortions, dissonance, and that's like a kind of, to me, that's like a line between Shakespeare in the past and now, and also geographic as well. You can kind of hear that.
Ayúntate ante el clamor de los otros que miran benévolos tu cuerpo y alzan la ceja y miren con sangre tus quereres.
One of the exciting things is maybe also the springboard. So we're using Shakespeare as a springboard. So 16th century or 17th century is a springboard for 21st century, and hopefully that was a springboard for Mexican artists to create new artwork. So we've got a series of multiple artworks which travel across time and across cultures. So hopefully the audience will find a great deal of stimulation and pleasure from reading the poems or hearing the music and the visual artwork, as well as maybe being inspired to read the original Shakespeare sonnets as well.
I guess it's also the whole concept, the larger concept, the idea that, you know, what is a poem in the 21st century as opposed to what it might have been in the 17th century. How is it going to be different? I mean, it's you know, you still, the audience is like another whole part of the formal experiment in a way, and you know, without the audience, it's not complete.
A mí me gusta, por ejemplo, leer 2, 3 veces los poemas, entonces buscar a veces imágenes, ¿no? Desde las palabras directas de las frases de los poemas, relacionarlo con otros artistas. Normalmente hago apropiación, ¿no? Ya son pastiches, entonces tomo piezas de otros artistas. En esta ocasión tomé varios videos de Andy Warhol, ¿no? Que es igual un apropiacionista, con una idea como de after pop, ¿no? Como samplear, se dice, ¿no? Entonces me gusta eso, como de todo. Hago videos, hago dibujos y todo lo voy mezclando en el software.
Sí, en ese sentido creo que es una transcreación de la transcreación, ¿no? También un poco ellos hacen su labor de estudiar o recrear o escribir a partir del soneto, y nosotros, o al menos en mi caso, pues transcrear a partir de lo que ellos ya me envían, ¿no? O sea, también, si bien hubo un acercamiento, había libertad de cada quien crear su pieza a partir desde su entendimiento, ¿no? O no, pero de entrada yo siempre llevo como con qué quiero iniciar, pero ya lo demás pues lo va determinando el lugar, el momento, el mismo feeling del poeta que al ir leyendo, ¿no? Entonces el mismo ritmo que nos va dando el evento, el espacio, ¿no? No es lo mismo leer en un espacio abierto que en una caja negra, ¿no? Entonces también en el público cómo va reaccionando, y aunque sí tenemos como ciertas cosas que ya traemos preparadas, preproducidas, pero como vamos mezclando también en vivo, se van generando nuevas cosas a partir de eso.
Digamos, yo soy pintor de formación, entonces a mí me gusta verlo como pinturas que estoy haciendo, como pinturas vivas, pinturas líquidas, ¿sí? Entonces lo que hago es como ir seleccionando las veladuras, podría ser como las capas de transparencias que van a ir generando una imagen. Entonces pues ya tengo un banco bastante amplio de imágenes que yo seleccioné para estos poemas, ¿sí? Entonces digo, ahora cómo es que los voy a combinar, ¿no? Porque tiene que ver con la intensidad de la voz, o como es en vivo, o sea, no siempre se lee igual, ¿no?
Pues sí, la idea es seguir creando, que la gente esté abierta a este tipo de propuestas, ¿no? Que podamos, pues así como vemos diferentes tipos de películas en el cine, o escuchamos diferentes propuestas musicales, pues también podamos estar abiertos a diferentes propuestas en cuestión de la poesía y la creación transmedia. Y pues bueno, la invitación está abierta a que acudan a alguna de las presentaciones.
Monstruoso. Tú, yo o aire eterno en la habitación de nosotros. Vuelve a tu lodo herido.